Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, going back to the Super Bowl. We're going to find out exactly how they did it. Fired up for this one. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, quick reminder, the Quarterback School Patreon community. It's a great way to support the channel. It's a great way to get even more Quarterback School content. It has never been cheaper. There's never been more content available over there. We're also getting into draft season. As we ramp up the draft videos, the long format videos will be over there. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, getting even more Quarterback School content, check out the Quarterback School Patreon community. Join, become a member. I sincerely appreciate the support. The link is in the video description. As for this video, let's get into it. Patrick Mahomes, one wheel in Burrowhead. It doesn't matter. Right out the gate, 3rd and 5, dime up top, inside fade, point man on the bunch, drop. This thing is on the money, y'all. 1 foot early on from the pocket, just an absolute strike. So outstanding. Can't catch it for him. Design-wise here, you're going to catch middle field close, and they had a nice little plan for Kelsey. I'm going to call it one double, call it 187, lots of different ways to basically make sure that there are two people right here. Well, what that does is create a lot of one-on-ones everywhere else. And so we're able to gap him at the line of scrimmage, right on him, beautiful shot, opportunity for a touchdown, just can't hook it up. So again, you can see 87 at the bottom, ends up getting doubled. Find the one-on-one, hits him in both hands. Can't catch it for him. So close. But I love the decisiveness. Really some great aggressive plays throughout this entire game on both sides. Decision making, everything. I love this one though. Next one here. So originally, I loved the design of this thing. Okay, this is the Kelsey hook and ladder, lateral, whatever. Watching it in the broadcast and kind of on social media later through the day, I felt like this was a designed play. But watching the All-22, I probably think Kelsey just has the green light to do this type of stuff because it looks like he turns down laterals later in the game as well, thinks about it. I actually don't think it's a design lateral with how it plays out, and we'll talk about it here from the wide on the All-22. But we get to this 1x3, and I really like the design here. So first, let's talk just the completion. How'd we get here? Here's Kelsey. Here's running what I'm going to call like this little sail, and he just got an unbelievable ability to settle down. We're going to pair that with a deep flag, so set it to the back pylon. And then the route that I think is interesting here is the number 2 runs what I'm going to call a sit. So he runs right damn near over the ball on the hash, and you see both his hands come up. And it's almost like a gather sit. And so where this ball ends up going, this is a really nice window. It's a bit of a funky coverage. It really is. You end up kind of high-lowing 57, who's on the ball right here. He's going to drop back here, and he's going to come up and come up to the seam. But there are kind of, essentially, there's a flat defender, and then there's kind of a corner in no man's land. So you've got 2 people outside the ball on this sail. And normally, I would say, if this is a true hook and ladder, like lateral down the field, we might bluff this, but then we're going to be running. Okay, there's a sense of urgency to get this thing going. You can't kind of lollygag. We're lollygagging. And right here, I think that this is a check flat. And then there's just so much space out here that Kelsey sees it and flicks it. This might be, I don't know. I would be fascinated to know if he talked about it in the post game. I didn't do a deep dive search. But watch that check down from the back first here. See, there's no sense of urgency to get out there. He's running a flat. And then it just kind of turns into it. See that kind of turn inside? To me, that's not designed hook and lateral. Now, it's almost a great play. It's almost a disaster, too. I feel like you get that a little bit anytime you incorporate laterals. I personally love laterals like this. The freedom to play like this, the ability to create, so unique on so many different levels. But, man, that would have been awesome if it would have hit. Next one here, 1st and 10. Just a little throwback to the corner at the bottom here, the number 2. We're going to run a hook by the number 1, a corner by the number 2. We're just going to sprint to our right, throw back across the field. Now, for a normal human quarterback, healthy or not, this is a ridiculous throw. A hurt quarterback on a bum wheel to be able to do this in a championship game is something really special. Now, it might not be a perfect throw, but just the fact that you don't see every quarterback in the league do this healthy. There really aren't only a handful of guys who probably have the capacity to sprint this way, set up, and throw back across the field on whatever you want to call that, a corner or a sail. Down here, it's going to be paired with a hook, we'll call it. And so, yeah, is it exactly where he wants? Probably not, but it's a really nice adjustment. MVS has a day as well. But the design here, the ability, you might not see him running speed option this game, but he is rolling outside the pocket, making big chunk plays down the field, giving his guys shot to make throws. These are special, special plays. I love the design. All things considered, massive play. Wow. Next one here, 4th and 1, touchdown pass. Love the aggressiveness to go for it here. I think he's probably got the number 1 up top. That's one thing I will say about this. However, I also love what I call back shoulder corner throws versus outside leverage. So there's a lot going on here. Okay, so first off, love moving the launch point. Love the decision here. You can see Patrick Mahomes here after he double clutches it to go back to Kelsey. Find him again. See that leverage? Again, 30's got his back turned. What's he covering? The width of his shoulders. You should have said it to yourself. Body him up, make a massive play. So again, lots of elements. First of all, the aggressiveness, going for it, 4th and 1. Next, I'm going to guess that this is probably where the ball's intended to go here on this little whip. Kind of do a unique way how they get to Kelsey here. So we're going to go inside here, kind of take the spot or the rub, and then Kelsey inside here is going to run the corner. So when they switch this, you can see these defenders, they're talking. And we're going to call it banjo. All that is fancy in and out. Okay, so he's got the first one outside. He got the first one inside. Looks like there's maybe 3 doing it. So when we come in here, he's going to take the first 2. So now Kelsey's going to be switch releasing or swap releasing, and he's going to have this DB type outside of him, right? So when you run up and you're running a corner versus outside leverage right there, like that's not good, right? So what you do is you run there, and if the quarterback sees it and this guy has his back turned, you throw it just like a back shoulder, just like he does. In fact, it's probably a little late on the back shoulder, and when we watch Patrick Mahomes here, we can see he wants to throw it earlier. So first, let's watch up top. Is that whip there? Yeah, it's probably there. He probably gets off of it a little early. So, okay, you don't throw that. Right here, right there, he's going to throw it to Kelsey right there on the back shoulder. It looks like Kelsey's just not looking, so he turns it down. Then he comes back off to the sit near the hash, not there, back to Kelsey. And again, you can see the DB type. 30's got his back turned, body him up. Man, that is a special play. So lots of moving parts. Launch point, whip, no. Kelsey, no. Sit, no. Back to Kelsey, yes. Touchdown. Love it. Next one here. Turnover-worthy play. Hitch to the bottom. To me, this could have been picked. Nice break from 29. There are a few things here. Now, as this game develops, we've got some issues on the perimeter, talent-wise, just availability-wise. But the ability for these guys to sit on routes out here. So if a team this is straight up man coverage, right? He's eyeballing him. Now it's not bump, but he's also not off and bailing, right? So he's kind of what I would consider almost like squatting, like daring you to run by him. And so the first thing is to just be aware of that. Like this to me it's not a bad look to throw a hitch. It's just not a premium look. And for me, the thing that kind of lets Mahomes down here, and again, it's really easy for me to say this with a clicker, but I've played with a hurt ankle before and it's not enjoyable. So when you take your drop here, this little, normally I would say shotgun, you're going to catch this and go one. I prefer one step, foot in the ground, throw it. What you don't want to do is put one foot in the ground and then whether you're hurt or you're timing to have another kind of back hitch. So watch his footwork, watch the details here, and this is why you're late. Okay, so just watch his footwork on the back end of this drop. Catch, one step, back hitch. Okay, now that might be injury. That might be just how they do it. I'm not going to lie, I don't watch every single snap of the Chiefs. But that, to me, makes us late. Now let's watch the corner at the bottom. Watch how locked in he is on that wide receiver. He's not looking at Mahomes. He's anticipating. He sees the wide receiver put his brakes down. Watch his hands. The landing gear down. Do-do-do. Right there. Turn before the wide receiver turns before he's at the top of the drop or the top of the route. And that's almost an amazing play by 29. Now, if he could catch, he'd be playing wide receiver all the time. But there were certainly some opportunities. I thought the Bengals did a decent job defensively to make this thing really tough. Next one here. 3rd and 4. Now, first of all, to me, this could have been a penalty. Watch the back. Watch the motion, 17, the wide receiver up top. Everybody's moving. Okay, I'm not going to get into the officiating. But once this thing goes, this is a crazy throw. Going to your left, bum wheel, back across your body, just like he seemingly does every single game, hurt or not, perfectly healthy or injured, getting away from the pressure, back across his body. I will also say originally I thought he was throwing it to 24. You can see here kind of basically everybody could catch this. Kelsey could have caught it if he would have kept running. 24 could have caught it if he would have slowed down. But I'm pretty sure 17's supposed to catch it right on his chest. I mean, all it is just going to your left, linebacker in your grill, back across your body, first down on 3rd and 4. I want it to sink in because I think sometimes you can gloss over, oh, they're here every championship game. He makes plays like this all the time. He's hurt. He's going to his left. He's throwing across his body, converting 3rd and 4s. He's single-handedly taking this thing over on plays like this. This is absolutely world-class, master-class quarterbacking at really a level that we perhaps have never seen before. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. It lets you know when we go live, when we put out new content. I certainly appreciate the support for the channel. Again, the Quarterback School Patreon community, great way to support the channel, great way to get even more Quarterback School content. If you love the details, nuance that goes on the YouTube channel, you will love the Patreon community. We also have Quarterback School courses, really the premium content available through the channel on all of my favorite topics, RPOs, pass protection, how to beat every coverage, tempos, even an entire offense. So if you're interested in the courses, check them out in the video description. And then finally, we've got a bunch of additional free resources. We've got a Pass Pro Quiz, test your knowledge. We've got a little play calling tool, see how you would call things based on personnel issues, coverages. And then finally, we have a free quick game course. So if you're interested in any and all of those things, the links are in the video description. As for this video, let's get back to it. Next one, 3rd and 10, touchdown pass. Awesome throw down here to the number 2. Little mailbox, post. Now, coverage-wise, this is a little funky to me. I'm going to guess that this is 1/87, but to me, the middle field player loses his mind. Now, I will also add that this pocket movement that Patrick Mahomes seems to do every other play, where he can just kind of subtly move to the open space, not set his feet, and rip fastballs that smoke people in the chest and beat coverage, y'all, so special. It's like shockingly good. But coverage-wise, what are we doing in the middle of the field? I can't pretend to tell you. So we've got Kelsey up top. That's kind of the first thing I'm looking at on film. How they handling this? We're going to have two guys are going to be up here on Kelsey. To me, this is middle field closed. This guy's in the middle of the field. We're going to switch release this thing at the bottom. So we're going to go outside, inside. So MVS right here. Once he switch releases this and goes outside, he's going to have his DB type outside of him. Now, that's normally not an issue in middle field closed, right? You want to be outside of him. Inside the numbers normally is like a divider roll. So you want to funnel him in like this and be on his outside hip, make that tough because you're funneling him to a player in the middle of the field. Or when this middle of the field player decides he's just going to, I'm going to guess, go rogue here and cut the number 1, it creates this huge void behind him because he's not there. So then you've got the premium leverage, outside leverage to run a post with no middle field player. Watch that free safety. See him drive 24? I can't imagine that's what they wanted. So if he stays back, you don't throw this post. Now maybe you throw it to 24, but it's not a touchdown. Regardless, great job from Mahomes. Pocket movement, off platform, ripping it, throwing a javelin through MVS's chest here. Just love the pocket movement. This kind of subtle, on your bad leg, dart. Next one, 3rd and 8. Okay, we're going to hit the number 2 down here on a corner. This is a cool design, little switch hitches. Now the ball's not perfectly thrown, but I think he does a nice job, again, of moving in the pocket, putting the ball right on the receiver. Up, boom, on him, on the body, on the break. Again, really like the design here. Watch the motion. So we're going to hit this motion, and then normally, if we didn't have the motion, this would just be some iteration of smash to me, right? That looks like smash 101. When you get this motion and you get a little kind of switch or swap release, we're now going to come up here, hitch, hitch. You get a lot of dressing, all to kind of run this corner. And this corner does a great job of, it's not true like, routes on air, corner, nod, go. It's, hey, we're going to sell this almost like over. And then we're going to come out of this thing, we're going to have all this space. Now, again, in a perfect world, you'd put it right on him, but you got to move, he wins, and you put it right on him as opposed to leading him. Switch release, pocket movement. Again, off platform, can't set your feet, just throw an absolute seed right on his chest. My goodness. Massive third down conversion. And it's every other third down. He's making some sort of like movement, dart throw down the field. Perfect. Love it. But it's certainly not perfect in the second half. And so this one, we're going to skip a curl at the bottom. And again, I know I've already prefaced it. I try to do a decent job of providing the context about, hey, it's not easy to go out there on a bum wheel. It's not easy to go out there anytime, let alone on a bum wheel. Does this ball get tipped too? Probably tipped as well. But it's in this really because I dislike the footwork at the top of this thing. And again, I get it. Okay? He's not healthy. But this kind of karaoke, crow hop, to me, you just don't need to do this. Now, maybe he does if he's hurt. And if he does, then that's the injury impacting the game. But the ball gets tipped. The footwork, I don't think, is necessarily what he wants. You don't see a whole lot of quarterbacks consistently crow hopping into these types of intermediate to deep curls. So it's certainly impacting him. Next one here. This to me is more just bad luck on an SRO at the bottom. So you're running essentially same side long trap with a bubble to the bottom to the number 1. If you like the numbers, you like the leverage, you like the grass, you just grip it and rip it. No, you have to be able to grip it and throw it. Sometimes this thing happens. I call it the old Aaron Brooks. Okay, so for me here, we're just going to, if you like this look, this pre-snap look, the grass, the numbers, we're going to throw a bubble to the number 1. So we've got one blocker. So essentially, if there's only one person, let's go out there and get it. With that, we're going to run long trap, same side. So we're going to over here and then go kick out whoever shows up on the edge, in man on the line of scrimmage. Now, the thing I like about this design, again, all these things are intentional. Why do same side long trap? Well, you do same side long trap to get the back out of your way so that you can catch it and throw this. If he's over here, now you've got to catch it, almost like turn 2, navigate this thing, kick back, takes longer, harder. So the design makes sense why you'd go same side long trap. Everything except the grip, and really just unfortunate. And it almost felt like, oh man, are the Bengals hanging around here? Are they really going to make this happen again like this with another weird fumble? So certainly wasn't going perfect in the second half. Next one here, 3rd and 9. Another miss. Up top, we're going to get all 3 people running, runaways going inside. And this is a throw Patrick Mahomes, normally will make 99 out of 100 times healthy. I'm not saying it's an easy throw, going left to right on the read, but he's missing it by a yard behind him. I love these types of runaways. So if we're going to catch man free, they end up actually bringing a little bit of pressure. Somebody's got the back here. But at the end of the day, this is just man coverage. Man free, meaning that there's a free safety, but there's no hole or thief player. Okay, they're bringing 6. So all 6 of these players are essentially blitzing. One of them is green dogging, who has the back. Once the back blocks, he's going to add on. But there's nobody in the middle of the field. The logo is wide open. So we've got runaways all over the place. Catch man coverage, love having runaways. And really, there's multiple opportunities for a first down. We just miss it. So we're not healthy. Things aren't going perfect. Things are kind of going a little sideways here in the second half. And that's part of playing. That's part of attrition this time of year. Everyone's banged up. The perimeter's down, number of wide receivers. But I think we all know that that's a throw that Patrick Mahomes could pick. 2 out of 3 of those guys have a great opportunity for a first down. Tough miss. Fortunate, didn't cost him. And now the final scramble. Game-winning scramble, so impressive. Again, they're doubling 87. Patrick Mahomes, to me, is always fast enough. Now I know the penalty at the end, it is what it is. I don't even think it's that close of a call. It's an obvious penalty for me. The rip-through technique, never going to get called for a hold there. But Patrick Mahomes is fast enough. He's on one wheel. Like, you can see a hitch in his giddy-up even as he accelerates here. Right? Like, we can see his gait change. See if you can see it in slow motion. Like, it almost like he got like a little bound there. He's always fast enough. Not necessarily a burner, but fast enough is fast enough. And right here, this is the play that seals this thing. Gives them a great opportunity to kick a realistic field goal. And it's just Patrick Mahomes saying, there's nothing there. I haven't been able to do this all game. Kept it in my bag. I can go get it, extend it, and make that play to send him to the Super Bowl. Just so awesome. When you put it in context of what he's been through the second half, how he's certainly injured, playing on a bum wheel, to do it yourself, set your team up like that is magical. So that is a wrap. Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, going back to the Super Bowl after a really tough game versus the Bengals. That was a lot of fun to watch that game live. Even more fun to go back to the All-22 and kind of peel it apart to see exactly how they did it, because I think the Bengals did a pretty good job, all things considered. But Patrick Mahomes, I'm not sure if you can overstate what an impressive performance that was, because it wasn't perfect. It wasn't like a video game where you go out there and things are just perfectly lined up all the time. You're dealing with your own injury. You're on a bum wheel. You've got perimeter players falling down all over the place. You're going out there with not your full cast of characters and weapons. And to be able to, at the end of the game, fight through really kind of a tough second half to say, hey, I can just go get this done on one wheel. Yes, the penalty helped. Yes, some maybe officiating question marks could be elements of that game. But really, I think if we're trying to be honest and we're trying to be somewhat objective, they went both ways and kind of got washed out. It just got magnified at the end with that punt return, no call block, and then obviously the push late with Patrick Mahomes into the side bench. All of those things considered. Patrick Mahomes, that performance on that kind of wheel, the ability for him to create the throws that he did on the move, outside the pocket, extending plays, and from within the pocket, the reads, it was just so impressive. An absolute blast to watch live, even better with the All-22. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.